Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mowers have practically built themselves. Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv and welcome to today's show. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. So here's the backstory. My grandson just recently, one of my grandsons, one of the 30, just graduated from high school. And this particular one is my oldest son's son, his only son. And he is going in the U.S. Navy. He's going to be a nuclear propulsion engineer. So that's really pretty cool. I'm a proud grandpa, of course. But before he goes, he's going to do a little photo shoot here before he goes in the Navy. And we had this idea for the photo shoot that he should have a prop to hold. And also, Grandpa wanted to build him something that for the rest of his life, kind of a legacy piece that he would have from me. So what I decided to do was build this USS Virginia nuclear submarine, and we'll have him holding that for the photo shoot. So first we're going to get in and review this thing. How about that? It's got to be a pretty small submarine then. So let's open it up and take a look. Kind of the view of how it should be when we're done. Looks like a couple of grays is what I'm going to need. So let's go ahead and open this up. It says it is a little over a foot in length. I've taken it out of the plastic already because there's not a lot of plastic. But you can see the detail on the hull is actually pretty good. Pretty good sized. And here is the top of the hull. You can see the detail on that. We have a stand, which we're going to be needing. And then here is the other main sheet. This is part of the stand. We've got all sorts of rudders on this thing, your screw and your conning tower. So not a lot in the way of plastic, but we do have a little bit of photo etch. We'll see if I actually use this or not. We may or may not. And some decals, which we will need. And then here are the instructions. So here we go. That page. And the parts breakdown. And then putting the conning tower together and the two halves of the hull. And finishing it up. So build wise, this is right up my alley. Not a lot to it to build, but a bit to it to finish and paint. It looks like we've got a black gray and a dark gray are the colors. And here is the decal placement as well. So I'm going to get started on this and see how long it is. My graduate. This is Squish, or Zachary Jr., and he is going in the Navy on the 18th. So the build on this thing, it was quick, maybe 30 minutes, not that many parts, a few photo etch parts, and they were easy to put on. And then I went ahead and primed it in my 2X primer, but there's a couple of issues. One, you can see this area here where it didn't fit quite right. And I should probably use some filler, but guess what? I haven't used filler in so long with all my Warhammer stuff that I just don't have any filler anymore right now. So what I did is I went ahead and used some sprue goo, and you can see back here in this area as well. So I filled this with some sprue goo, let it dry overnight, and sanded it, and it actually turned out really, really good. So again, this has no putty in it whatsoever. Cleaned up some of the edges that needed to be cleaned up, but all in all, I think it was, for the purposes I'm doing, it's a quick and easy build. You can see how the other side turned out. And look at this. There's one little ding there in the nose, but I'm not going to worry about it for for the purpose of this build. I could get more crazy with it, but I'm not going to worry about it. This other side's perfect. So anyway, went ahead and reprimed it with the 2X gray primer. Then I used something kind of different. I mixed this gloss white and some flat black from Testors together until I got a nice dark gray. I wanted like a dark gunship gray, but I'm out of gunship gray, and I wanted an enamel on this. So went ahead and thinned it with some lacquer thinner, sprayed it, and here's how it turned out. This actually dried within an hour or so, and I was able to put on the black. And what I did is I masked part of this area. That's why I wanted to use the enamel, so I could mask over it without having to remove things like those wimpy water-based paints. I wanted the enamel so that I could mask this off, which after an hour I did. And I decided to use some black Templar that I have from Citadel and brush painted that on. It turned out pretty good. So, well, here we go. Here is our finished product. So you can see where that subtle change is between the black up on top and the very, very dark gray here. There's also a bit of a sheen change. Now for the top, I just used some black Templar contrast paint, which I brushed on, and it worked out very well. It's it's designed to slightly change the color of whatever it was you put it on. So the decals turned out okay, but somehow when I put those on, I had some issues with, I guess, water spots that I didn't remove properly before I went ahead and coated this whole thing. I didn't gloss coated, I dull coated it. And so these are kind of permanent fixtures there, but the decals were probably the hardest part of this whole thing, honestly. Trying to get them off, get them on there straight without tearing them, that was tough. The little nameplate that goes on here for the Virginia, I accidentally threw that away with some other stuff, so yeah, I had to hand paint this, but it's okay, it'll work for what we're doing for him. So here's the conning tower, and you see the decals, how the nose turned out. That turned out pretty darn smooth after I sanded it. There is one little teeny ding right there, but other than that, not too bad. This turned out good back here, really good actually. And here's your propeller, and I got to finish painting the name on this side, but you kind of get the idea on how this turned out. And this little weird thing here, I guess, I don't know what it is, whether it was water or what, but anyway, that's underneath the dull coat. So there you go, folks. This will be fun with him holding it for his photo shoot. So